Ralph, my question for you was David de Gea really rolled back to years there tonight with a terrific performance and showed really why he is one of the best goalkeepers there in the world. 2 fantastic saves to Ozan Kabak.
Yes, I can only agree. Fantastic performance by David. And he was probably man of the match, especially in the second half. He had 2 or 3 brilliant saves.
Sam Wallace?
Hi, Ralph. Can you just tell us what you thought of the overall performance? And I know it's early days for you, but how you think the team are progressing towards your vision that you have for them?
It was a completely different game compared to last Sunday. And this had also to do with the performance of our opponents. I think Norwich did extremely well. Very courageous performance, very proactive, very aggressive. And in parts of the game, we had problems with this way of with this kind of football. The body language, the intensity, the aggressiveness, especially in our offensive department, and by that I don't only mean the strikers, but also the 2 number 10s. We didn't play on the same kind of intensity level as we did against Crystal Palace. But again, it also had to do with the way that Norwich played today.
Dan King?
Hi, Ralph. Could you just clear up what's happened with Victor Lindelof? Because he seemed to have some kind of chest pains. Is he okay? Is he going to hospital to be checked out?
Yeah, he can't even remember himself how it happened, but I think that he had a collision with another player and he had problems to breathe for more than 10 minutes. His heart rate was higher than normal and therefore he was a little bit almost shocked. He didn't know how to deal with it. We had to replace him, and after the game we did some checkups and examinations by the doctor. It seems everything is okay, but we still have to wait and see how he's doing by tomorrow. Hopefully he will be fit again for the game on Tuesday against Brentford.
Jeremy Langdon?
Yeah, Ralph, the performance seemed to lack a bit of energy tonight and a lot of passes were going astray. Why was that, do you think?
Well, as I said, because Norwich played in a very proactive, aggressive way. In fact, they played like we played against Palace on Sunday. But still, it's a question: how do we deal with this kind of football that the other team is playing? And I would have wished we had more intensity up front, more physicality, more willingness to win the one-on-one duels. And I think we could have done better in certain parts of the game. In some parts it was good. I thought the whole defensive line and the 2 sixes, including David de Gea, did extremely well. Fred and Scott McTominay again played on a high level. The centre backs were good. The 2 fullbacks were good. And as I said, offensively we were also having some nice moves, but didn't always find the best possible solution in the first half. And in the second half, especially after we had scored our goal, then again, it's a question of intensity, and we conceded too many corner kicks, too many free kicks from the side, and therefore it was always never a game where we had the feeling that nothing could happen, and this is something we have to get better on.
Laurie Whitwell?
Hi, Ralph. I hope this doesn't follow on too much from the last question, but some of the times in attack, players seem to be on different wavelengths. I just wondered, is that something you can adjust on the training pitches, or is that just a mentality thing?
Yeah, I mean, tactically, we don't have that much time to work and improve the tactical level. But I don't think today it was a question of tactics or of distance to the teammates. It was more or less the one-on-one duels, offensively and defensively. And the second balls, a game like this against an aggressive team like Norwich, it's about who wins more second balls, who wins the one-on-one duels. And there was a sort of a difference between the different parts in the game and also the different parts in our formation.
Okay, we'll now take questions ahead of Brentford, which is embargoed until Monday at 1:30. We'll start with Sam Luckhurst.
Hi, Ralph. Given that the game's quite a tight turnaround, will you look to freshen up the team on Tuesday?
I think now it's too early to speak about that. I will have to wait and see how the players have recovered by tomorrow or on Monday. Tomorrow we will train with the players who haven't played or only played a couple of minutes today. The rest will need to recover. And then on Monday after training, I think, or before and after training, we can decide on that. I saw the game of Brentford yesterday against Watford. Again, another very high intensity team, maybe even more physical than Norwich played today. And we need to be aware and prepare for that different level of intensity. But we have to wait and see. A few players are available again, like Luke Shaw. He was in the squad today. Maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka might be available again on Tuesday, and even Eddie might be an option. So, but we have to wait and see. It's too early now.
Sam and Stone.
Hi, Ralf. Given a lot of people have suggested you're now in a run of games that you should win because your ability is more than the opposition. When you're talking about the intensity of Norwich or the intensity of Brentford, why is it that they're not talking about your intensity? Because surely if you match their intensity, your extra ability should see you win the game.
Yes, I mean, we were fully aware how Norwich would probably play today, but on the other hand, it's a question how you react to that. And the reaction of the team is vital, especially in away games. In the end, we had another clean sheet, which is most important. We had another 3 points. Although last Sunday, but again, it was a home game. It was against a Crystal Palace team that didn't attack as high and as intense as Norwich did today. And we need to take next steps. It's about taking next steps, but it's easier to take those steps if you're winning games. It was the 3rd consecutive win in this season and the 2nd clean sheet. So those are the things we can build up upon. And as I said, I think in defense, the fullbacks, the center backs, and the 2 sixes did extremely well. And now we have to try and raise also the level that we play against the ball up front.
David McDonald. Sorry, David, can you hear us?
Hi, Ralf. You mentioned clean sheets there, and you said that was your priority when you first came to United. How have you addressed that, and how have you sort of toughened up the team in terms of making them, harder to score goals against?
It can only be achieved as a whole team. It's not only the back 4 or the 2 sixes or the goalkeeper. The whole team has to defend in unison together as a team. And as I said, so far we have 2 clean sheets in the league. We won 1-0 again today away in a difficult game. We tend to call those games the dirty away wins, 1-0. Those normally are the nicest ones, but today again in the second half, in my opinion, we just conceded too many corner kicks, too many free kicks from the side, and therefore it was always until the very last minute a game that could have gone into the other direction. And we needed a fantastic goalkeeper, a few headers in the center of defense to keep the clean sheet.
Okay, last 2 questions, Laurie and then Sam.
Hi, Ralf. Anthony Martial wasn't in the squad today. Can I just check, is that a knee injury still? And his agent came out at the weekend and said that he wanted to look at opportunities to leave the club in January. I just wondered your thoughts on that.
Well, I don't communicate with agents via the media and the press. The player hasn't spoken with me or with us about it. He, after the final training session before the Crystal Palace game, after having trained with the team, he informed the doctor and the medical department that he will not be available because the pain on his knee is too big. So we have to wait and see. Maybe he can train again tomorrow, but I have to speak to the doctor first. To be honest, what his agent says via media is not that much of interest to me.
Sam Lopez.
And just following up on that, Ralf, will you now speak to Anthony and get his version on what his agent has said?
No, because then I would react to what his agent said, and it should be the player. If he really has the wish to go to another club, it should be the player who informs either the board or myself, whomever. But I have never spoken about a player via media and via agents.